Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a palette review today and it's from my Ulta haul that I did about a week ago, and this is the Desert Oasis palette by BH Cosmetics. I've had about a week of wearing this to really test it out and to gather my thoughts on it and just to give you all a detailed review on it. I really wanted to focus in on the palette instead of my lovely face, so I'm actually going to be zooming in on this palette and you'll be seeing swatches. It's totally different format than what I normally do, so let me know if you like it or not, if it's distracting, if it's less distracting, if you'd like me to continue on this way. I think I've decided that I'm probably going to start focusing more on eyeshadow palettes on my channel because I feel like that's where my expertise is. I have probably about, I don't know, 50 eyeshadow palettes now, some ridiculous number like that. And because I have used so many eyeshadow palettes, I've gotten pretty good at doing eye makeup. I mean, I'm not great. I'm not like makeup artist great, but I enjoy doing eyeshadow looks and I know a lot about eyeshadow formulas. And so I want to start doing more detailed reviews and standardizing the way that I rate eyeshadow palettes. So just let me know if this is something that you find interesting and helpful by giving it a thumbs up or subscribing to me or commenting down below. If you don't like it, that's fine too. Let me know. I can go back to just doing reviews with my lovely face. So without further ado, which I hate saying because every beauty YouTuber says that, so scratch, let's get to it. I purchased this palette for $22 at Kohl's. It has 19 pans, so it comes out to $1.16 per pan, but the pans are varying in size. Total net weight is 1.41 ounces or 40 grams, and that comes out to 55 cents per gram. This has 5 mattes in it. It has a total of 9 shimmer metallic shades. It does have 5 highlighters, but I won't be focusing on those as much for this review. I will discuss them, just won't go into as much detail. And the palette is predominantly warm, but it does have a few pops of color, so it's very on trend. I'm seeing a whole lot of palettes like this on Trend Mood, a whole lot of palettes like this that are being released. Your cool tones are your turquoise and your hot spring, and then your nightscape leans pretty neutral towards cool tone. So overall, for color story, I give it a 5 out of 5. I think they did an excellent job at picking the colors for this palette. I think it's beautiful. I think you can get a whole lot of looks for it. What I'm looking for is both a mix of metallics, shimmers, foils, along with those matte shades that work well for transition, crease, and setting, and also for deepening up the V. And you have all of that in this palette, so I definitely believe that this deserves a 5 out of 5. In fact, the color story is what drew me to this palette and is the whole reason that I purchased it. These are all the matte shades. This is Canyon, this is Dune, this is Nightscape, and this is Sandstone. I had issues with Nightscape. When I applied this, it was patchy, but once I blended it for about a minute, it blended out beautifully and it smoothed out. I do recommend that you just use a soft brush and a light hand and build this up slowly when applying it. It is going to take you a little time to blend it out. If you have a busy morning, you don't have a lot of time to do your eye makeup, then you might want to skip on this one on that day. This color is Sand. You can hardly even see it. It blends in with my skin tone so perfectly. So Canyon is perfect for a transition shade. Dune is perfect to go in your crease. Sandstone is perfect to go in your crease. Nightscape is perfect for going in your crease too. It's also a nice dark shade that looks beautiful if you use it in your outer V. And then of course Sand is what I use to set my primer. Pigmentation, I had no issues at all with these. I mean, you can see how beautiful and pigmented they are just in these swatches. The matte textures are soft. They're a touch powdery, but there's not too much kick up in the pan, so it's nothing that is bothersome. I had no creasing on all the mattes for 8 hours of wear. And I also had no fading of the mattes for 8 hours of wear. The mattes apply beautifully with a crease brush. They're very pigmented, like I said. A little goes a long way. My advice is to apply it to your brush sparingly and build it up to your desired opacity. Light shimmer metallics are Moonscape, Quartz, Terrain, and then Mineral. Medium tone metallic shimmers are Prickly Pear, Cactus, Turquoise, and then your deep shades are your Heat Haze and your Hot Springs. So your light colors are going to make beautiful lid shades, and they also look gorgeous under the brow bone. And then your medium shades are great for deepening out the outer V, and then your deep shades, same thing, deepening out your outer V. Or honestly, all of these are beautiful. Even if you just want to put them all over and slather them all over your lid, they're all going to be gorgeous. Pigmentation on these is superb. I had no issues. They're all extremely vibrant, and you can see that in the swatches. These are soft and they're creamy. There's very little kick up in the pan. They apply well with a dry brush for a more subtle look, but if you want more of a pop of color and you want them to be just more vibrant, I recommend either applying them with your finger or with a damp brush. For creasing, I gave these a 4 out of 5 because Heat Haze, which is this color right here, this creased at the 6-hour mark, which is kind of early. I do have hooded eyes, so I tend to get more creasing than somebody who doesn't have hooded eyes, but this did crease after 6 hours. Hot Spring and Turquoise, those creased at the 5-hour mark. So because of that, I decided to take a point off of the creasing score. And then as far as fading, I only had one of these that faded, and that was Turquoise. And that faded at the 7-hour mark. So all of these stayed vibrant and beautiful for an entire 8 hours. But really, these 3 shades here were really my only problematic shades that I had. As far as fallout, the mattes had no fallout at all. Terrain had a small amount of fallout throughout the wearing it, not a whole lot. I needed a 5 times magnifying mirror to be able to see that fallout. Prickly Pear had a little bit of fallout too throughout wear, but it was minimal. Cactus had a decent amount of fallout upon application, but I didn't notice any fallout once it was on my eyes. Turquoise and Hot Spring, that showered silver glitter on my cheeks. These are 2 shades that I'd probably recommend that you not wear if you have a long day ahead of you. These are the kind of shades that, you know, and they're bright and they're vibrant. I think they're perfect for going out in the evening. You put them on at 7 o'clock at night, you wear them till 2 in the morning, you know, it's dark out, nobody really cares, it's beautiful, you got some glitter on your face, it's really no big deal. So I would just recommend that when you're using Turquoise and Hot Spring that you probably not put that on at 7 in the morning and expect it to still look good at 5 in the evening, because it's not. But they're beautiful shades. They're practically foiled. I think they give a beautiful look. Just unfortunately, they do have some creasing and they do have some fallout. And for fallout, I gave the palette a 4 out of 5. For the color story, I gave it 5 out of 5. Blendability, I gave it 4.75 out of 5. For pigmentation, I gave it 5 out of 5. For creasing, I gave it 4 out of 5 because I did have those few colors that were creasing. Longevity, 5 out of 5. And then application, I gave it 4.75 out of 5. So the total score for this palette is 4.6. So this is really an excellent palette. If you've been thinking about buying it, I think it's a good investment. This is a look that I did using Canyon, Sandstone, Sand, Quartz, Heat Haze, and Moonscape. And this is upon first application. You can see how vibrant it is. The second picture is after 8 hours of wear, and you can see that Heat Haze has creased just a tiny little bit, but the eye look is still really vibrant. You can even see how my makeup is starting to kind of wear off under my eye. I tend to have watery eyes, so you can kind of see how that concealer is starting to break apart, but the eye look is still beautiful. This is a look that I did using Sand, Canyon, Nightscape, Turquoise, and Hot Spring. You can see how beautiful and vibrant it is. This is on first application. This second picture is after 8 hours of wear. You can see how Hot Springs has creased, and that's a really dark blue that's in the outer corner of my eye. You can also see how Turquoise has faded some, and you can see that glitter fall out underneath my eye, which is just kind of annoying. It's still a beautiful and vibrant look after 8 hours. It's just having a few issues that I wasn't too crazy about. But like I said, overall, this palette is gorgeous, and these were really the only colors that I had any issues with. These are the highlighters. This is Serenity, and that's a peach, and it has kind of a yellow shift to it. It wasn't very flattering on my skin tone. It did last for 8 hours, and it does have some glitter in it. It's not huge glitter particles, but it definitely has some glitter particles in there. Bliss is a yellow toned highlighter. It has some glitter particles in there as well. They're not huge, but it definitely has them. So if you're not crazy about glitter particles, it may not be for you. Also, they weren't very flattering on me. I have a neutral skin tone, so if you have a neutral or a pink skin tone, these may not look the best on you. I thought I was going to love Mirage. I figured this would be my favorite. It is a little tiny bit dark for my skin tone, and it has very large glitter particles in it, and those glitter particles stand out more as you wear it. These two, Serenity and Bliss, they emphasize my texture a little bit, but not significantly. Unfortunately, Mirage emphasized my texture to high heaven. I mean, you could see every pore, you could see every wrinkle. It was not attractive. And then these two are way too dark for my skin tone. This is Utopia and Hideaway. I won't be wearing any of these as highlighters. I did try all three of these out as highlighter and I wasn't too impressed with them. I won't be trying those out obviously because they're too dark. But I would recommend, if you don't have sensitive eyes, these will make great medium and light shade lid tones, so to wear them as eyeshadow. I don't know if these are eye safe or not, so I'm not going to say 100% to do that. I did not contact BH Cosmetics. I should probably do that. I do not have sensitive eyes, so I do plan on using these as eyeshadow. I think they're gorgeous as eyeshadow. I just don't think they work very well as highlighters. One thing I forgot to mention in my review is the packaging, and this has really pretty gold packaging. It's very metallic. It has a large mirror, which is great for traveling. And then it also has a sleeve. I would recommend keeping this sleeve because you can just slide it in. Well, maybe if you're better than me, you can slide it in. But I do think this is a great travel palette because, like I just said, color story is 5 out of 5. So I think this would be great to take with you no matter where you go. And if you keep that sleeve, then you keep it nice and snug and secure and you don't have to worry about it coming open in your makeup bag and making a mess. Okay, that's all I have. I want to thank you for joining me today and I appreciate your time. I love it that you spend this time with me once a week, twice a week, and I want to just encourage you to please subscribe if you find this type of content useful to you. And I want to thank you for being here today and I hope you're having a great day wherever you are and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.